Do you guys even need to pay for AI writers in 2025? Let's tackle this controversial topic heads on in this video. So this video is going to be a three-parter. The first part, I'll give you my honest opinion on whether you need to invest in expensive AI writers in 2025. Especially considering what is happening with SEO industry in general. Then we'll look at some of the recent updates of the very popular AI writers, those AI writers that I have reviewed in the past. And finally, I will give you my view on what my ideal AI writer is. So for anyone listening who wants to create an AI writer from scratch, that might be an interesting take on things. So let's get started. So first, do you need to buy an AI writer in 2025? This is a little quiz that I've created. And it all comes down to whether you need to create a lot of content in bulk as opposed to writing single articles, maybe once a week or a couple of times per week. So if you're planning on writing in bulk, if your answer is no, let's start with that. Honestly, you will be better off with the likes of Perplexity. That allows you to use multiple models. You can also use Claude, ChatGPT, that has an amazing Canvas feature. You can use OpenRouter, which is actually one of the better choices for your buck. It has a whole myriad of different models, and each of those models is connected to the internet. I might be recording a separate video on that. Or you can resort to a DIY AI writer. You can create your own. You can use my free helpful AI writer to get your articles ready. I honestly don't think that you need an expensive AI writer if you are not planning on writing or producing your content in bulk. By the same token, if your answer is yes, there are quite a few choices for you. I usually advocate for Agility Writer or SEO writing. Koala AI is also a valid choice. And there are actually 4 instances where you need to create your articles in bulk, and this will be beneficial for you in the long run. So the first one and the most obvious one is that you have a high authority site, you have a great backlinking profile, you have an established site that has survived multiple Google updates. Then you can continue using AI writers to maintain that velocity that you have with publishing multiple articles per week and per month, hundreds even. Then the second scenario would be you have a super niched down website, you are an authority, you don't really have a lot of competition. Then you can still get away with bulk publishing without Google shadow banning you or outright applying manual penalties to your website. Scenario number 3 would be you are in foreign SEO. So with SEO writing, I have multiple case studies by other people who produce content in Spanish, in Italian, in German, who are reaping the benefits of bulk generation. And since SEO writing is pretty affordable, this is still a very valid option. So foreign SEO would be your go-to. I would say as much as foreign SEO or programmatic SEO as well, PSEO. So that would be when you have a seed keyword and a modifier. I have multiple videos on my channel about programmatic SEO, and this is still valid because you're basically creating demand from scratch. And oftentimes you don't have a lot of competition. And finally, and this is my use case going forward in 2025, you can still use Agility Writer, SEO writing, Koala AI, Journalist AI, doesn't matter, or Zim Writer, if your articles are complementary. So one of the best use cases would be you have a Pinterest account. That is your primary source of traffic, but those pins have to lead somewhere. And for each pin, you would need to have a corresponding article. And since Pinterest requires you to create multiple pins a day, that would be very difficult to maintain or sustain with creating single articles with Perplexity, Claude, or ChatGPT. And same goes for if your main traffic driver is YouTube automation, for example. You would still land your visitor on your website with multiple articles, multiple entry points. So these are the main reasons for you to purchase an AI writer in 2025. But if you're just writing single articles, you're going slow, you are rooting for quality over quantity, I honestly think that these guys here would be a valid substitute. Now, earlier this year, I created this directory which is the only directory focused on AI writers only, where you can filter your AI writer based on a specific feature like brand voice, like humanized text, like using your own API key, for example. And let's just see very quickly what these AI writers have been up to, starting with Agility Writer. So the Agility Writer has done a lot. Looking just at the recent updates in November, they introduced the new outline types. So the outlines that are currently available are list-based articles, in-depth reviews, side-by-side comparisons, glossary or key terms, style of article, which is very handy. They also did something that not many AI writers can do. They introduced the infographic generation, which is pretty potent. Sometimes it does mess up, but oftentimes the results are pretty good even with text. And this is one of the examples of how the infographics looks like. It's pretty good. Now they also have a smart editor, which you can use to edit your article. You can extend, humanize, shorten, summarize, and whatnot, reminiscent of early Jasper. And yeah, just a lot of updates, and be mindful of that. Our community enjoys the highest discount for Agility Writer, which is 15% off if you use my coupon code. Next up, Koala Writer. And Koala Writer haven't been as active, so the recent update dates back to September this year. So they improved their automatic internal linking. They added a very popular Polish feature to their bulk writer. They implemented the multilingual alt text, improved non-English text, which is a very high demand feature for most of the AI writers. So ability to sound presentable and native in languages other than English. So pretty good updates. Then we have SEO Writing. SEO Writing released quite a few updates recently. So they introduced new models like Llama 70B, like Claude 3.5 Haiku, like a new hybrid model. They also now allow you to choose between different types of articles within the one-click generator, which is the how-to guide, the listicle, the product review, the news and comparisons. They improved on the details to include a section which had been redundant for quite a while prior to that. Now it's back in working order. They introduced outlines to their bulk generation module, which was amazing. Brand voice, so lots of updates for SEO writing this year. Then we have Journalist AI. Couldn't log into the actual website for some reason, but if you go to Journalist AI YouTube channel, they introduced a couple of new things. So they did something similar to Koala Writer, which was called Magnets, I think. Here you can insert interactive elements inside of your articles. Like here in this example, should I finance this car, which is a interactive widget capable of collecting leads and emails. Pretty good. And just a recent update, they can now repurpose articles or create multiple formats from RSS feeds. So you can have an RSS feed connected to Journalist AI, have an article, a LinkedIn post, a tweet. So pretty useful feature if you want to diversify your sources of traffic, which is the name of the game for 2025. Next up is Surfer AI. I haven't really heard about the big updates. Right now on their website, they have this Surfer Unwrapped feature, which is a summary of the whole year, but this is basically a glorified ad. So I'm not sure if anything was really happening in terms of new features. Then Harbor SEO, another innovative product by Hamish from Income Stream Surfers. I think the latest update was the Linker, which is basically a tool that helps you find guest post opportunities. And also, if you click Configure Now, they are now selling backlinking packages. I haven't myself tested this, but you can get different packages starting from €375 for 25 contextual backlinks, going as high as 5,700 for 168 backlinks. Again, I cannot verify if those backlinks are high quality, but knowing Hamish, he wouldn't offer spammy backlinks. So, however, then we have Autoblogging AI, a tool that I haven't touched in a while, but they've been producing a lot of updates. So the most recent one was the AI Wars writing style. The new updated less AI Wars writing style has been reworked from the core. The entire process is very much efficient now and works a lot better. Each article goes through 3 levels of rewrites to make sure all the bad AI words are removed, and this is an example. From factors contributing to this imbalance to reasons for this imbalance, for example. Now they have a custom integration with Google Search Console. which allows to display key metrics from GSC within your dashboard, which is pretty cool. They've introduced their API as well, so lots of updates for the fans of Autoblogging.ai. And for ZimmWriter, again, ZimmWriter is one of those tools that I cannot keep up with as far as updates. The most recent ones were the auto-assign for different categories and tags, and also they introduced the deep research. I'm not sure which video is that, but they've introduced deep research feature within their ZimmWriter, which is very cool for writing highly accurate factual articles. So go visit their YouTube channel to learn more. And as you can see, all, not counting Surfer AI Writer, all of the before mentioned AI writers have had major updates. So in my personal rating, which I hope is not biased because it's based on statistics, not on my opinion, the top ones are Agility, Koala, SEO Writer, and Journalist AI, but you can really be successful with any of these AI writers. Now for the final part. This is my take on what the ideal quote-unquote AI writer is going to be for 2025. For me, the ideal AI writer is inexpensive. I think people are tired of spending a lot of money on articles because there is no guarantee with Google nowadays. So the tools like Content@Scale or Surfer SEO are extremely expensive. The less expensive your AI writer is, preferably by your own keys kind of deal, the better. I'm yet to see an AI writer, and correct me if I'm wrong, that fetches data from social, like Perplexity, for example. One of the reasons I like Perplexity, because I can just base my article on Reddit, on YouTube, and whatnot. So ideally, I would like to have in the settings the ability to parse from all the SERPs, from Reddit, from YouTube. That would make for a unique blend of content, making, again, the article pop. Then, again, this is something that does not really exist right now. I would really like to see an AI writer that focuses on the information gain concept, that doesn't only synthesize information but creates new information. And it's kind of contradictory because AI is based on training data, it's based on data set. Some people would argue that it cannot produce new information. I disagree. I think it depends on the angle, it depends on the prompt that you use, it depends on the custom information that you feed into your model. Then it can surprise you. So I would really like to see an AI writer that consciously and deliberately produces key insights, new information, synthesizes statistics from different sources, for example. And I would like to see an AI writer that sounds human. So doesn't have those AI words, which is a feature that doesn't really work well for most of the AI writers. And I get it, you can introduce your own custom style, but still, I'm talking about not only the choice of words, but about the structure, about the flow of things, about maybe mimicking how the actual human reads content. The reverse pyramid, for example, is one of the good starting points. And yet, whoever creates this AI writer is going to win me in 2025. And if any of the developers are watching this video, take notes, guys. Hope this was helpful. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.